your life right now and you have not received the blessings that you want, look at your foundation. Look at what your habits are. Look at what you are doing as of right now and see how you can patch those holes up in order to start to receive more blessings and start to fill those holes up so you can get to the top of your foundation. So then again, back it up, rework what your goals are, understand what your goals are, and now start laying brick and 1% better each and every single day until you at least come up to the top, right? Yo, what's up, world? This is the Awaken Your Best podcast, and we on number 22. 22, man. We got a lot of episodes that we've already done up until this point. If y'all have not seen it, make sure y'all go back and listen to this on Apple, on YouTube. Listen, this is me, Terrence Feagin. This is your boy, Rasta White, and we love talking to y'all about awakening your best. Who are you? What do you want to be? What do you want to have in this life? Listen, you only got one opportunity to make it, so stop wasting it. Yo, Rasta, he came up with the topic today, which is building your foundation. And we know all about building our foundation. And we've been building our foundation for years, even before the military and even after the military. This is what we're all about. We're not quitting. We're not, looking for a way out. We're going the hard way. We're taking the stairs to this life. We're not taking the escalator. Most people want a handout. Listen, we building. So as I said, episode 22. We got a good one for y'all today. Rasta, what's up, bro?
Man, you already know, bro. I'm excited to be here today, man. You feel me? Talking about building, right? We on episode 22. That flows into that. And we got such a long way to go, but, bro, we on episode 22. I remember we did our first one. You feel me? So, we could have gave up then. We could have just been like, but, we still here. We still pushing. We still grinding. Phone ringing. Hold up. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, we still pushing, we still grinding, bro. Again, I'm just excited to be here, bro. Blessed. How you feeling over there, bro? How the family?
Yo, first off, the family is at school, so they doing good, in school, and baby's at the daycare. I'm actually off work today, wife at work, so I'm still working though. I'm still putting in the grind. I'm still building my foundation of my business, building the foundation of this podcast, and man, every day is a blessing for me, man. I don't care if it's raining, snowing, or the sun is shining. It's going to always be a blessing.
Man, bro, and that's something else we're going to get into, too, as we talk about the podcast. The weather, right? Life is like the weather, bro. It changes, it do what it wants. You could try to predict it. You can get an idea of what tomorrow going to look like. You can get you might get an accurate idea, but a lot of times, bro, we don't know. You feel me? That's God doing that. We can try to guess it, try to figure it out, bro, but the weather changes and we got to adapt to the weather every day.
Gotta adapt, bro, man, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You got it.
Man, I was just going to say, Storm, man. Your middle name is the Storm, so being able to adapt, I think you perfectly fit for it. Like you said, God gave us all the abilities and the capabilities and all the ways in and out to be able to encapsulate the storm. Is that a good word to use, encapsulate? I don't know, but it's working right now. Rasta, man.
Right, it sounds right. I'm going to look that up after this.
Yeah, encapsulate. We're going to use big words, so we don't really know the definition to it.
Hey, bet. Yeah, you used to always be dropping big words on the ship and stuff. You would just say something randomly like, yeah, bro, it's a very arduous task. I'm like, what? What are you saying?
Yeah, man.
It's very arduous and... Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say, man, I don't really even be using big words.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, you actually do, bro. Well, I would say it's kind of normal for you now. Like big words meaning just words that a person might have to be like, hold up, well, what that mean?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, but that's neither here nor there. You feel me? Yeah, you got to. I'm a word nerd, y'all. So excuse me. I write music. I love using unique words. You feel me? But yo. First thing, bro, I think we should definitely, this is what we're going to cover. I want to talk about the brick by brick analogy, right? I know a lot of people, y'all hear a lot of people quote it, brick by brick. I heard Will Smith say it on that song, like brick by brick. I heard him say it a lot. And I heard Nipsey Hussle say it. He said, instead of looking up at the skyscraper, just lay a brick every day. Just focus on trying to lay one brick every day. Then one day you'll look up and you'll have a skyscraper or a building or whatever you want to use, right? So let's talk about that. When we say building a foundation, we're talking about building a strong foundation? Well, the foundation go under the bricks, but we're gonna just talk about the bricks, okay? Y'all see a lot of houses nowadays are not made out of all brick no more, really. It's kind of, it's kind of phasing out. Why? People trying to save time, people trying to save money, right? And if you look at life, it's kind of the same now. A lot of people are building their life. They don't want to use bricks because it takes too long. So it's like, just put some straws up. You feel me? Long as it passed the city code test, build it, right? I mean, my wife is funny. We was actually driving around yesterday neighborhoods, and she was like, I really want an all brick house. And we looking around, we don't see none. We see half brick, then the top is vinyl or whatever material it is, right? And I'm just like, I think that led into me thinking of this topic today, because I'm like, bro, that's where the world is coming to. Things are getting more cheaper, more fast, more instant. And it's really misleading a lot of us. And there's not a lot of people out here talking about it. Everybody is preaching. You see the thumbnail, make 10K in 20 days, or, get rich tomorrow, all the way to that extreme, right? And it's just like, bro, 99 times out of 100, it's not going to happen that way for you. It's just not, bro. Like, you're not about to, is it possible? Yes. People hit the lottery too, right? But, bro, the chances are 0.0001%. So that's what we're going to cover today, bro. Like, what you think, like, far as the brick by brick analogy, what's your take on that?
Man, I live by it every day. And like you said, there's no way that a quick fix or a house made out of straws or wood is going to really be able to sustain the storm. It's just like the Three Little Pigs analogy. We got kids, so I always go back to that. But you have to be able to build a foundation in order to really get through all the trauma, the drama, and all the stress. And if that foundation is not solid, then of course it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble when you don't feel like doing what you need to do, and it's going to crumble when you don't really are motivated to continue to build. But building that base, building a foundation on dedication, consistency, and really just putting in the work. And right now I'm realizing that in order for me to grow, in order for me to become better, in order for me to get to the goals that I want, I got to build that foundation. And it start by reaching out to businesses. It start by me being dedicated, waking up every single day and being dedicated to building my body, building my mind, and then just doing the work. So many people don't want to do the work. I read a lot about entrepreneurs and how much they had to grind in order to build the base around them, like Phil Knight. Phil Knight, who's the owner of Nike, he really had to establish his business on his own before he could actually go out there and then start to employ more people. But if he didn't have the idea, and if he didn't have the foundation, if he didn't have the blueprint set out, then how can you bring in other people into your fold and just build that foundation? Build a foundation around who you are and what your goals are. And then as you start to do that and build that, more people will see your vision. A lot of people won't see your vision because you don't even got the flow laid out. You don't even know what you really want. So brick by brick by brick, until people can at least see your foundation and be like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yep, I agree, bro. See your foundation. Phil Knight is a perfect example. I know he got a book too. I'm interested. I'm gonna check that out one day. The Nike book. You feel me? Cause
Shoe Dog.
Everybody. Yep, Shoe Dog. Yeah, that's what it's called. I've seen it a few times. And everybody know what Nike is, right? We all know what Nike is. It's like a no-brainer now. But it had to start somewhere, right? It had to start, like you saying, from us. Not even, we talking about the brick by brick, but even before that, Terrence mentioned vision. It have to start with the blueprint. What's your vision, right? So we could back it up a little bit first. And I heard, actually, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I heard that mention. I was like, they was like, where do I go? I'm trying to do this. How do I build this and blah, blah, blah. And he said, okay, do you got your blueprint yet? And they like, oh, actually, I don't. Where are you going? You feel me? What are you actually trying to build? Do you want to build a smaller house? Do you want to build a skyscraper? What do you want to build? You feel me? So it definitely start there, writing down that blueprint, getting that vision together first. And like Terrence said, you're going to show people the blueprint. People going to be like, that look a little, I ain't saying you can't do it, but that's going to take some work, right? And at the same time, they right, because a lot of people know, like, bro, if you're trying to build, I like saying a skyscraper, because you think about a skyscraper, it's just crazy. But if you're trying to build a skyscraper, you're going to have to dig deep into it. And I had to remind myself that. And yesterday or the day before that, I actually started writing out my blueprint again. I started editing it because I'm like, I have it written down, but I don't really got it in depth. Like, I don't have how much do I want to be making by this time? By when? You feel me? What do I want my family to look like? What do I want my body to look like? What do I want my finances to look like, right? My relationship with God, where do I want that to be? So when we're talking about building, it really starts there. If you get anything from this podcast, go and just write in your notes on your phone, whatever. Just write a paragraph of just what you want your life to look like. I would say in the next 10 years, that's what I used. I used the 10-year thing, but if you want to do 5 years, 3 years, whatever, just write it out before you even start building. Don't no construction guy go to a random site and be like, yeah, lay the foundation, man, with no blueprint. They'll be like, feel me? They're going to be like, what we building? You like, I don't know, man, just start building. You know, it wouldn't work. So, you know, so I backed this up a little bit, bro, but I think that needs to be said as well before, you know, we talk about the bricks, really.
Big time, man. You actually mentioned the fact of building a solid foundation by going deep in order to understand what the underlying ground is, because you can't build a building on sand. You can't build it on a reservoir of water, or, you know, it has to be solid foundation. And in life, a lot of times you're going to have to go backwards, or you're going to have to go down. You may have to get into debt before you can start seeing your first dollars. And a lot of times with life and in business, you have to go into debt. You have to, or at least invest funds, or you have to invest your time before you can come up. So taking a step back is not necessarily a loss. Taking a step back is not necessarily mean you're going to fail. A lot of these businesses were losing, like Amazon, one of the largest businesses at first. You know, he was losing hundreds of thousands a month. I think even, you know, he was losing millions in a year. But then he started to actually see, like, okay, this is where we're bleeding money. Okay, now once we patch that hole up, once we figure out what that is, now we can start to come up and start receiving revenue. So if you're in your,
do you really want to change your life? Yeah, I could see it. You watching this podcast, you tuning in, you taking action. I see you, and we truly appreciate you for watching this podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to tune in so you can stay here. We dropping these weekly. We're going to keep doing it, keep dropping, keep learning, keep growing, and helping people like you awaken the best version of themselves. So hit that like, comment, subscribe button. Even hit that bell. I don't even normally say that, but hit that bell, man, so you can constantly get notified, so you can know exactly when we dropping, and you can soak up this knowledge. All right, peace. Get back to the podcast.
You're in your life right now and you have not received the blessings that you want, look at your foundation. Look at what your habits are. Look at what you are doing as of right now and see how you can patch those holes up in order to start to receive more blessings and start to fill those holes up so you can get to the top of your foundation. So then again, back it up, rework what your goals are, understand what your goals are, and now start laying brick and 1% better each and every single day until you at least come up to the top, right?
Bro, I agree 100%. And I love the 1% every day thing, right? It's linked to like brick by brick. It's kind of the same. You land that 1%, that 1% better is really that one brick that you land. Boom, boom, boom. And like when you shift your mindset more to thinking like that, life becomes a bit easier for you. It's not easy, don't get me wrong, to look up a whole day go by and you be like, well, I did get one thing done towards my dream. You might feel unaccomplished. You might feel like you underachieved that day. But I once read before too, you got to learn how to get comfortable sometimes underachieving long as you move forward. Long as you made a step forward, long as you laid one brick, don't beat yourself up too much. And it's really a note to myself because I could literally do 20 things in one day, lay 20 bricks, and at the end of the day be like, oh man, I still could have did this, or dang, I didn't get that done, or dang, you know, and that's not really a healthy way to look at it. Because then when I look back, I'm like, bro, you did way more than you really needed to do in one day. So kind of, you know, again, like Terrence was saying, we got to start backing it up and be like, am I still moving towards my vision? Okay, cool.
Right.
I laid a brick. What's the next brick I'm gonna lay? What's the next brick I'm gonna lay? You feel me? So, bro, like the brick by brick analogy, I think it takes patience. We're gonna talk a little more about that too. That's really the thing. I think that's why most people don't do it. And we get like we all human. We getting more addicted to instant, fast stuff, bro. Like I don't feel like cooking, right? You want to have good health, you gotta sit in the kitchen, you gotta cook, you gotta make the food, or you can do what I do sometimes. You so busy, I'm just gonna go grab a chicken sandwich from McDonald's. You feel me? Because it's fast. It don't take much work. It don't take much time, right? But I'm learning it's like, start cooking more with your wife. Start trying to learn how to cook too, because, y'all got to start taking care of your health. Y'all got to start laying that foundation now in every part of your life. Your health, finance, personal life, all of that. So, bro, this topic, it weighed heavy on me too. You feel me? Like it's weighing heavy because as of recently, a storm did hit, you feel me? And Terrence, obviously, you know about it. We talked about it. A storm hit my household, my marriage in particular. But now I'm looking up today. I feel so blessed because I'm like, and you said that to me too. You was like, bro, what you're building and the stuff you're doing, bro, be proud of that. Like, look around and be like, this is what I'm building. And I looked at it. I'm like, bro, the family is getting stronger, bro. Like, because we building, bro. We slowly laying bricks, bro. It's getting stronger. Like, storms that's hitting now, bro. If they would have hit 2 years ago when we were just dating, we would have been done. We would have been wiped out. That would have been it. But now it's like, bro, look at the stuff that's going on now, bro. Storms is hitting you, and they getting heavier and heavier because they have to, right? God got to test you more and more. It's like, okay, you got your foundation is pretty solid. Let's test it out a little bit. Let me go ahead and poke at it a little bit. Let's see if it's really real. You feel me? So
100%,
bro.
100%, man. You touched on the topic about, wanting to have the life that you have right now without having to go through the storm, basically, right? And what I look at that, and the first thing that came to mind was instant gratification. The technology, the accessibility of fast food, or what we see on the gram, Instagram, social media, is that people have this life, but we don't really never see what's happening in the dark. We never really see what's happening at night when people are up reading, focusing, and doing what they need to do. We only see the instant gratification, or that's what we want. Nothing in life worth having is ever going to come quick. And if you have a large goal, you have a big dream that you want right now in your life, and it's not really happening for you right now, stop trying to have it right now, because you have to go through the pain. A diamond, and most people that are successful, they were pushed in that pressure situation. You're not going to have, or it's not going to be held on long if you're just wanting it right now. Go through the pain, go through the issues, go through the stress. I've been married for 10 years coming up here August 1st. That's a big milestone for me and my wife. And, I always tell Rasta, I always tell Rasta, like, listen, it's only going to get harder from here. It's only, you're in the first year of your marriage. You're going through a lot of different issues right now. You only have one kid, brother. It's going to get harder. For anybody out there who is freshly married, you don't even have any kids, just understand this, is that you think it's going to get easier. Yeah, it's going to be easy some days. You're going to be loving your wife. You're going to be having this. You're going to be going on dates, traveling and all that. But bro, when you look up, it may be harder the next day, but the foundation that you built, the relationship that you built, the understanding that you've had for each other is going to help you to propel yourself. So if you do build a house and a storm come through and you just land and it breaks the whole house down, the roof collapsing on you, the sides is coming in, guess what? You still got that foundation. But if you don't build that foundation, the whole house is gone. And what is when Jesus say in the Bible, he says, "Here I build my foundation on solid rock," right? And I don't really know a lot of different scriptures.
I didn't even know that, bro.
Yeah, so he says, "Here I build my church on this solid rock," and God, he know what he doing. He know he gonna build his foundation on a rock. I think rock and Peter was his rock. So Peter had to go through so many different trials and tribulation. Anybody that's listening to this, and I'm just saying it incorrectly, write in the comments, but I'm pretty sure I know, like, God, he wanted to build his foundation on rock because he knew he couldn't build it on sand. He knew he couldn't build it in mud. You can't build it on, something that won't be able to handle drama that's happening in 2024, all the different, racial issues, sexual issues. The devil is just plaguing. But if you build your house on a rock, if you build your business on a rock, if you build your relationship on a rock, if you build your mindset, your discipline, and everything on a rock, there's nothing that can break down that foundation. Again, if you start to build your house and you don't have the bricks laying the outside of the house, then it's going to fall. But if you start to build it up by bricks, of course it's going to be able to weather those storms,
bro. And that's two of them, bro. I want y'all to really capture, because I just called it capture what Terrence is saying. He's talking about the foundation separate from the bricks. Right, we talking about brick by brick as well, but he also talking about that foundation. Them two separate things.
Yeah,
you feel me? Them two separate things. You can lay. The first thing you got to do is lay the foundation, period, before you even pick up a brick. We talked about the blueprint. So you got the blueprint, then you get the foundation laid, boom. And he's saying if your foundation is solid enough, you can start building whatever you want to build. And if it blow over, storm, knock it down, you still got your foundation, bro. I love that because they're separate. A lot of people hear foundation and bricks and they thinking, no, bro, it's different. It's different, bro. And I can say, I'm definitely at a point in my life where the foundation is there. Like the foundation is there. Now it's like, what exactly am I building? But I'm learning, bro. I'm just learning to pick up that brick. You see that vinyl, you got decisions to make every day. You see the vinyl and you see the bricks. It's easy to say this vinyl gonna give me this much, gonna cover that much workspace. But I see the bricks, bro, and I'm like, it's gonna take a little longer, bro, but I need it to be strong. So yes, bro, bricks.
Yo, thank you for tuning into this podcast right now. I want to say, if you like this, make sure that you subscribe and like the video. Comment down below what you like so far. Of course, we're bringing these podcasts to you all the time, and we just want to continue to grow. So you can actually help us to grow by commenting down below, liking the video, and also subscribing. Tell a friend to tell a friend all about this podcast, and we'll see y'all real soon. Let's get back to the video.
Yes, bro. Bricks relate my marriage, my finances, bro. Everything that I'm doing in my life, it take time, right? And the results is what discourages me too. When you ain't seeing no results after a while, it's like, man, what am I doing? What am I doing? But it always go back to that blueprint. Like even me, y'all, I'm learning. I got to start looking at my blueprint every day, not just when things are bad and I'm forgetting where I'm going. No, bro, I got to start looking at my blueprint, every single day. So it's like, it's ingrained in there. So my mind can stay focused. Like, bro, this is where you going. Right. So
amazing,
bro, that foundation, foundation is everything.
Foundation is everything, and vision is everything too. You talked about you have to see what your goal is, and I got my goal posted up right in here in front of where I work every single day. And I have it on another side where I got it kind of broken down in the daily steps that I need to do. But what you need to understand is that your vision is going to take you places that nobody can see. And I know I probably said this multiple times, but you have to understand that the vision that you have for yourself has been placed in you from God. You could tell everybody around you. You could tell your wife, your sister, your brother, your mama. They're not going to understand it because you have to build it. There's so many different things that's going to happen to you. There's so much drama in the world. But if you hold on to what your vision is, then nobody can take that from you. Nobody. But you also have to work your vision, and you can't rely on anybody else. Like I said, if your spouse can't help you, a lot of times they can support you and know that you're willing to go through that and build that. But you have to get up every day to support what your vision is. I'm going through that as well. I got a lot of big goals for myself. Rasta know that. My wife know that. But by me getting up every single day and doing what I said I wanted to do, that's what's going to help the vision to come alive. That's what's going to help for people to come into your fold. But if you're just talking If you're just sitting on your ass and you don't have the work ethic or the ambition to get up and go do it, then it's never going to happen for you. You're going to die with that vision. You're going to die with those goals, and everybody's going to say what you could have been. There was a story where there was this old man. He was dying on his deathbed, and somebody asked him, like, what are you going through right now? What are you worried about? And he just sit back and he said, all the visions and all the dreams I could have had, they're going to die with me because I didn't have the ambition to go through it in life. And I don't want people who are out here listening, and I don't want myself or Rasta or anybody else close around me to die with the visions that they had. Get up every single day and build that foundation, but most importantly, see the vision, write it out, and go get it.
Bro, 100%. See the vision, write it out, go get it. And bro, that's my, I would say, I'm learning that I live by fear. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. The fear that I was aware that I had was regret, bro. That exact fear that you just brought up. Being old and saying, I do not want that. I don't want to say I wish I did nothing, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, that got to be the worst feeling in the world. Because it's like, I wish I was more there for my kid or whatever. I wish when they told me, when I was working at a job I hated, I wish I didn't stay there for 30 years. I wish I left in 2 years and went for it. And then if I failed and then came back, then I would at least felt like I know I went out there and I tried. Right. So I'm learning that, y'all. It's like you start thinking about that. Not necessarily in a fearful way, but start just thinking about it. Like, do I really want to be old on my deathbed, like he said, and have regrets and say, I wish I did this? If you want to actually, I think for me, why that fear has started, I was that young guy who spent a lot of time talking to elderly people. Some of us young people, we don't go, I ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about. You feel me? But we miss out on a lot of value and wisdom because the older people, they're going to tell you, bro, a lot of them is going to tell you, like, you young, you got the opportunity still, man. If I was your age, I wish I did this, bro. I wish I did that. That's why a lot of older people, what you hear them tell you stories about, either something they could have been good at or something they exaggerate in their success now because they looking back at their life and they like, bro, I wish I just was bold enough to go for it. And I can say, bro, I use a perfect example. Me separating from the military. Bro, that was bold. Like, that was bold. It was coronavirus. The coronavirus had just hit. It was 2020. Bro, I was terrified to leave. Bro, I was so terrified. Like, my money wasn't where it should have been. I had already been in the Navy for 4 years, bro. I'm thinking, when you first join the military, you tell them, I'm gonna have 100,000 saved up. I'm gonna do this for me. It didn't happen that way. I was spending all my money. So by the end, probably had $5,000, $10,000. So I'm like, I ain't really got that much money. The coronavirus hit. I might not find a job. So I'm like, you feel me? But at the same time, y'all, I'm sure when I'm 60, 50, I'm gonna look back and be like, I'm so glad I was bold enough to do that when everybody was telling me not to do it. I got out, became a real estate agent, started learning things, lived on my own since then, and learned and explored all this stuff when I could still be in the military right now. Nothing wrong with the military, y'all. If you 18, you probably, if you consider doing it, I say do it. It's the best decision I ever made in my life. But departing was also the second best decision I made in my life. So, bro, Terrence, tell us, like, do you got something? You got out the military too, so you could share that story if you want. But do you have a story that you look back and you be like, I'm so glad I didn't listen to everybody else?
Yeah. So for me, I got plenty of stories, man. I could talk about the military, but in particular, I remember being in college at a college, Central State, HBCU, right? And I was there and I noticed that I knew like the school wasn't the best that it could possibly be. And I remember telling people like, man, I'm about to transfer. I'm going to this another school. I had friends that was leaving. Then also my wife right now, my girlfriend at the time, she was leaving and going to that school as well. So I was like, to the school I'm talking about transferring to. So I was like, you know what?
Right.
I'm going to step out on fear. I'm going to step away from where I am now. I think my mom, sister, just telling me like, just be where you at. Like, that's a big change. That's a big deal. But I remember it was snowing. It was like a It was like December or November, man. And it was just, man, I'm talking about like, it was like blizzard. It was snow all over the place. And me and a couple friends, we ended up driving up to the school, getting enrolled. But I was just thinking, like, if I would have stayed there, where would I have been? Who knows? I probably would have still been in the same position. Who knows? But what it did is that it allowed me to get closer to my wife now, who was my girlfriend at the time, learn who those people were around me. But I also learned a valuable lesson is that you have to step out on fear. You have to be okay with the decision that you make as well. And a lot of us are making decisions. And then once we get into that decision, we start having like remorse on the fact of that decision that we made. But you just got to keep going. Whatever decision that you make right now in your life, when it comes to making an additional move, you have to be okay with that. And you have to continue to go in life. You can't think about what the past would have been, because if you start to think about what the past would have been, you're going to be living in that time. But you also want to be focused on the future. You have to be focused on what is right here, right now, and what can I do in order to make my situation better. And, you know, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing at my current time right now. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to build up to this point. But how can I go further? Yeah, I'm okay with the bachelor's degree. I'm okay with the master's degree. I'm okay with my current job. I'm okay. I'm okay with the family. I'm okay where I'm at. I'm okay with everything that I have. But how can I have more? You know, I was talking to myself. I was, you know, thinking to myself last night, and I'm like, God, thank you for, you know, what I've been able to build. Thank you for everything that I have right now. But if it seems that I'm being greedy or wanting too much, let me know. But I want more. I know that life can give me more. I know that life can have more, because I see other people with more, and I'm not comparing myself to other people, but the goals that I've set for myself are what constantly has me up every day thinking about what do I need to do in order to get there. And it just goes back to the vision. My vision of what I want my life to be is what's propelling me to get up on this mic, to get up and open up the phone, to search up other businesses, to read, to work on my body, because I know that I can have it. So what do you want? You got to go out and get it.
What do you want? And that's another concern of mine too, brother. You know, I ask God that too. Like, you know, am I asking for too much? Or because, you know, we want to be content with what we have and appreciative, you know, of everything that God give us right now. Right. So when we say focus on the future, we ain't just say don't look around you and be thankful. Yeah, we're thankful for what we have right now. But, you know, God gave us the power of creation, right? Created us in his image, all that great stuff. So it's like, I believe we are here to do great things, do things that may seem impossible, do things that some people never even thought of. So I think like from Terrence's point too, is like looking forward is like, well, I feel like God have a bigger purpose for me. I love what I have now, but God tell me, is there something bigger you want me to be doing? Because I know you didn't give me the spirit of fear. So if fear is the thing that's holding me back, then I feel like I'm not moving by your purpose. So I think, you know, basically you looking forward, like what more can I have? I think that's all connected. It's like, God, what is it you want me to do that's like, you know, gonna give me everything I want on top of satisfying you? You feel me? So we're talking about land. Go ahead.
So I don't want to cut you off, but I want to say, like, I said this already, but God put the vision in you. God put those goals in you. We was born with what we want to have. Like, the visions that you see for yourself is God given. But by us asking, it's like, God, you gave me this. Now, how do you got to get me there, God? You got to keep showing me, open up doors, give me signs, and you're going to eventually go there. But that drive and that feeling that you have is from God. So you got to attack it every single day. Go ahead. Let's talk about what you was going to say, brother.
No, bro, I love it, bro. And I was going to say, like you said, like, God, you know, help me get there. And that goes back into the whole point of the podcast is building that skyscraper that God put in you. You see it. He put that in you. The whole blueprint and the vision is something he gifted you with. So it's like, how do I get there? And if you listen to this podcast, we'll tell you one thing we've learned so far from our experience is that building it by brick and taking your time and making sure it's solid. You feel me? As you go, that's the patience. But at the same time, we like, yo, like, you know, how do I get there, God? You know, how do I get there? This is where I'm headed. You gave me the vision, you gave me the blueprint, all this good stuff. but how do I get there and move forward? So that's pretty much like, if y'all listen to this, that's what we want y'all to take away from it. For one, building your foundation, seeing your vision. We talk a lot about vision. And I also love when Terrence brought up not moving by fear, because that's the number one thing that's going to stop you from ever building whatever it is. You're not going to build nothing because, you feel me, you're not going to build it. I'll share something with y'all that stuck with me from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read that, you should check that out. But he was talking about when it comes to building or going after your dreams, he said, short-term stress is better than long-term misery, right? So when I got out the military, bro, I was stressed. Like, if I could have, it would have been so much easier to just sit there and chill. I wasn't really happy where I was at, but it would have been so much easier to just sit there and relax. But as we move forward and step out on fear, then it's like you look back and be like, I'm so glad I did not listen to the fear. I'm so glad I went through that short-term stress, because, bro, it's always something great on the other side of it. I know it's hard to believe. I know the down days that have you like, some people in the same position we in, probably a little higher. You feel me? That's on the same path, and they having them days where it's just like, bro, is this even worth it? But just keep your faith, bro. We believe it's worth it. That's why we continuing to move, bro. Just keep laying them bricks until you get to that roof, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Keep laying the bricks. Listen, this is the Awaken Your Best podcast. We drop these every Sunday. And listen, we've been inconsistent, but listen, we still going. It ain't gonna stop. These podcasts are available on Apple Music and also YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Rasta on IG at Rasta White. Check me out at Terrence Feagin. We always willing to help motivate y'all. And again, 1% better. Lay that brick every single day. We appreciate y'all.
Every day. We out. See y'all next week. We out.
Yo, let's do some